Hey, Dan here, and with a few more days left of the election, something tells me some of you guys might want to be joining me here in Europe, depending on how things go down. So I wanted to make a quick video about the best ways I know of living in Europe. I'm talking primarily, well, completely about continental Europe here. So we're not including the UK, especially after Brexit, they don't count, right? So the cool thing about living in Europe is it's not very hard. Unlike Americans and back home in Canada, which make it very difficult for people to live there, it's quite easy to get a visa to spend a year or a couple years or to move permanently to Europe. As long as you have basically the qualifications, and I'll go through that, there's a bunch of countries that will allow you to set up shop and do it. Whereas in North America, it's pretty hard unless you have a lot of money to throw around. So I'm going to talk about a couple countries here. I'm going to talk about Germany, Czech Republic, Spain, and sort of the Baltics, which are like Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. These are the ones I know best, although there's probably options in other countries. And I'm primarily going to assume you don't have money. If you have something like $500,000 to invest in property, then that opens the doors as well. Countries like Portugal and Spain have programs where if you buy property there, you'll get long-term residency for free, like included with it. So that's another option. Again, if you have money, there's more ways to do it. But the primary thing here, whether we're talking about Spain, Germany, the Baltics, is working for yourself. If you're an employee, you need to get a employer or employee visa. And to get that, you need to generally show that you're going to be able to do the job in a way that no one in all of Europe can do. That's part of the EU agreement. And so trying to come and move here and just get a job, it's doable. I know people who've done it, but it's not the best option. It's going to be more difficult. And a lot of people who do it end up working as like an English teacher, which is not a good job. You'll end up not making a lot of money, working a lot of hours. And it's not really a good long-term plan, right? So if you work for yourself or you want to work for yourself, which happens to be what I teach, just saying, subscribe to my channel, all that stuff. If you work for yourself, the doors are wide open. You can get freelancing visas in Spain, Germany, or the Czech Republic, which basically means you are a freelancer. You work for yourself. So whether you want to work with local people or work with clients back home or anywhere in the world, you can do that. And these visas are easy to get. Personally, I think it's easiest in probably the Czech Republic to get it. Germany is quite easy, and Spain, I don't know. All these places will have a bunch of paperwork because it's Europe and they love paperwork and stamps and weird stuff, but you can do it. As long as you go through the paperwork, you can hire people to help you do it all, read online how to do it, and you'll get approved and you'll get a visa. And then you'll actually pay taxes wherever you go. So if you get a Spanish freelancing visa, you would live in Spain, you'd have a visa that would basically let you travel throughout Europe whenever you wanted, and you would pay taxes in Spain, right? Cool. So Germany, Spain, Czech Republic, that's kind of how it works. Fairly easy. You do need to show income after the first year, right? So you have to be decent at what you're doing. It varies by country how it goes, but they basically want to see that you're paying taxes. So the appeal of the visa, it's very logical, right? If I am the government in the Czech Republic and I see Dan and I'm like, hi, Czech Republic, I want to come live there. And I say, I have this business. I'd like to come spend all my money in your country and pay taxes to you. It costs you nothing. It's pretty logical they're going to say yes, right? So that's the setup for, that's kind of the logic behind these visas, as well as a lot of Europe has an aging population. So they really need young people to come in and fill jobs and that. So again, there's a motivation to bring people in, which is very different to North America. So in North America, we assume it's going to be really hard to get a visa, but it's actually not because they want people in. Now, the other option is to start a corporation, start a business where you're not just working for yourself. So there's a bunch of countries, the Baltics specifically come to mind, where if you set up a corporation, you can get a residency permit as well based on that. So Lithuania, Estonia, what's the other one? Latvia are quite good with this. The only issue is they are cold and small. Estonia is a cool country. Estonia is the most efficient kind of government and setup. Like, you can vote from your smartphone, you incorporate online. It's very efficient, so very low paperwork. But again, it's really cold. I mean, Czech Republic is cold, but it's even more cold. So those are kind of the main areas I would look at, and then you can just Google to find more information about each program. If you're wondering about long-term, all these visas can turn into long-term residency, then permanent residency, then in theory, citizenship as well. So if you want to stay, it's not like you get a 1-year visa, then you have to leave. You can keep extending it and turn it into a permanent setup if you find that you like it over here, or Trump is still in charge, or whatever else is happening back home. If you have any questions, I'm not going to be your virtual assistant and answer. So leave questions in the comments. But if it's something that I can tell you're just too lazy to Google, then I might just make fun of you with my response. But otherwise, if it's something kind of specific, and I know some of this stuff isn't that easy to find online. I know it because I've been living in Europe for 4 years. I've done a lot of research. But if there's something that you have a question about or you want to know, leave a comment. I'll do my best to answer. That's it. If you decide you want to move to Europe, and that means working for yourself, then check out my other videos, check out my website, Dreams Around the World, and I'll do my best to teach you how to do just that, start your own business, and have the freedom to live wherever you want. Cool, thanks for watching. See you in a future video. Subscribe, please. Makes me feel good about myself. I'm in Prague, right? And the Czechs, they're kind of nice, but I don't speak Czech very well at all. And they're not the most smiley, so sometimes it hurts my self-esteem. So if I see a nice email that I have a new subscriber, it helps my self-esteem. Then I feel good, then I make more videos, right? We all win. Okay, subscribe. Thank you.